Bueno, esta comunicación.
Okay, now we're going to hear from Vanessa Lobato Rubio from the R&D area, and she's in charge of the unit For You. You will tell us what this For You unit is about. From the CICT Foundation, from the CTIC Foundation, and she's going to talk about the interface TV-based for the control of a domotic system using the MH standard. Okay, there is a letter missing in the title, but that's okay. Welcome and good afternoon. I am from the CTIC Foundation, and first of all, I would like to congratulate the ONCE Foundation and all of those entities that somehow have participated in the organization of this event, and also the fact that they have given me the opportunity to be here today with you to present this work. This is the TV-based interface for the control of domotic installation using MHP standard. It combines the domotic installation and the digital land system, and here we have a specific test with a specific manufacturer, and we will talk about different tests that are being carried out right now about the usability, user interface, etc. And quite briefly, for those of you who do not know about us, I would like to tell you that we are from Asturias. We're a technological center. We are in Gijón. We are a private center, non-profit, founded by the government of Asturias and also from a group of companies of the ICT center. The center has three main working areas. Some are based more on web and standardization, digitization issues. Maybe you know our center because of this, because it was one of the leaders and pioneers along these lines. And due to the work we do there, we have a close relationship with the CITIC office, and this is one of our working lines. But there is another working line which is based on the promotion and dissemination of the use of information technologies in the information society and its evolution towards the knowledge society, both at an institutional level as well as companies and citizenship at large. And then we have the R&D plus R area. It is for the last 4 or 5 years, we have this Research Development and Innovation Center. There's 30 researchers, and we organize our activity based on 3 functional units: semantic technologies, the independence of the device, and the For You unit. This is like the For You, a pun on words in English. And we have a lot of adjectives in this world where we are working that are quite important. For You means it's useful, ubiquitous for the user. It's you for all of these words. So if you think about all of these words, you will see that they start with you. And we started working in these 3 areas, as I told you, but there's other transversal areas such as ultra-wideband and other Wi-Fi technologies. And as I was telling you, just to gather a few adjectives and examples: interaction with the user, multimodality, visual interaction, voice-based, and also interaction with digital TV. And in 2 working areas, there's 2 main working areas where we develop projects, and that's the digital home and digital ambient where we work in. And well, we will talk about other projects that we have in this area, but some of them have been very well. This morning when I heard about Miguel Angel Valero, well, I thought that that was very interesting because there's a lot of commonalities between what we do. Getting back to what I wanted to say here today, I would like to start with an initial food for thought. I would like to talk about what this technology means and the use that we give. This is a quote that many years ago these two people said as for the teleconference technologies, and they predicted that in the mid-90s they were going to be as popular as the telephone. The 90s came around and it was not the case, and their initial optimism was well, they were a little bit more cautious about it, and they told us that they didn't take into account the social inertia factor. And this social inertia factor, if we try to explain this in another way, well, we know that first of all we have the possibilities that the technologies offer, but then there's the daily uses that we people give to these technologies. We need to make a difference between the logics of those who design the technology and the logics of those who use the technology. Playing with these words, we can find the terminology daily life technologies. These are the successful technologies because the value is not in the technology, but is in using it as a means for the service or the final use that we will give to this technology. And I've used this comic from Borges. I don't know if you've seen it before, but it's due to two reasons. First of all, because it gathers two characters that we know and that we can identify with. In this Congress, probably we will identify ourselves more with one than with another. But in society at large, we can find both. And also, when selecting the acronyms and the different words, he used SMS, iPod, mobile phone, TDT, and USB 2. So this is like, okay, if you're there and you're doing this, you're a kind of weirdo because you're trying to interconnect all of these. And the poor soul who's reading the newspaper, he says, I don't know what you're talking about, but what is this for? So this is the concept of technology for daily life. It's not about putting every time more and more words and integrating more and more things, but it's about stopping and thinking about the use. In the previous slide, we were talking about the terrestrial digital TV. I'm not going to talk too much about it, but I'm just talking about audio and video sign. I will just mention that this is what it is. It is transmitted by digital air signs, also with an antenna, and we need a decoding device that can interpret the digital sign that we get. And this sign can have all of the TV channels, but also extra information, such as, for example, audio files in different languages or interactive applications. But linked to this issue of the interactive applications, we need to take into account that the concept of interactivity is not present in any place where we can go. I'm talking about a large shopping center or shopping mall, and that's one of the main problems. I would say that it is the problem nowadays. We need to make a difference between the basic decoding systems and the interactive decoding systems, and those that are the ones that are compatible with the standard that has been accepted at the European level for digital terrestrial TV, which is MHP, as you can see over there. As for DVB-T, that's terrestrial, T for terrestrial, and that's like the analog for cable would finish in C for cable or S for satellite. And as I was saying, the digital terrestrial TV, and as you can see in these two graphs, well, I got this from the DTT report from this year, and we can see the tendency towards the use of this technology. And if we see the different age ranges, we can see that average people are the ones who are in that line over there, and the line in the middle are those people who are more than 65 years old. And we have this progressive aging of our population. So from the TV consumer's point of view, they are the ones that potentially use TV most. But they are also more reluctant because from a technological point of view, there is a gap and there's a barrier with these people. As I was saying at the beginning of my presentation, I was combining the DTT issue with domotics and the digital home. And we also mentioned yesterday and today, Miguel Ángel Valero this morning mentioned that this can contribute in key areas such as safety, having a better connected home, improving quality of life. There are a lot of different kinds of devices. There is variety in the communication protocols, but what is a common need is to have a user-friendly system so that we can interact with these systems. And if we check the state of the art, we see that there are several solutions, touch screens, mobile phones. There's also some systems or applications based on digital TV. Sorry, not only on TV, not on digital TV. I was just thinking about the next slide. So TV as such is more of a software approach, or it is an approach that is linked to external devices that we have that are connected to the TV. These are different approaches with different pros and cons, like anything in life. The first one requires an Xbox console or a media center connected to the TV. The second one needs some equipment for a specific supplier. Sometimes there's no standards. There's not enough interoperability so as to combine different equipment from different suppliers. What I wanted to talk about is about this approach, which is summarized in this drawing. There is a decoding system of DTT with an MHP, as I was telling you before, because of the interactive application, because at the end, that's what the user interacts with. And this terrestrial decoder will be connected to a domotic network, and it has to be bidirectional, because the user should not only have to see how the devices are, but he has to be able to change it at a specific given moment in time to change some parameters. This bidirectionality and this communication, it's not always obvious.